Hey there guys, DMO73 here, bringing you another feature match for this week. This time we are playing against I am playing Salt.Deck, designed by Kozmor, the Italian team, very popular right now as a fun Yamada Genesis combo deck. So that's what I'm going to be playing, and then Nick is playing his Green Grimm Control. Both of these decks are very, very powerful right now and very, very relevant to today's meta, and with the regionals coming up this week, we thought that we would just give you guys a taste of what you might have to see. As you see there, I opened up really bad with 3 Elvish Priests and 2 of my bunnies, but I'm luckily, because of mulligans, I'm able to get rid of a lot of that stuff. So I'm going to be going first as far as I can remember. Get that stone that I set with Scheherazade off the top, so I guarantee myself a first turn play, pay 200, and play Elvish Priest. So the whole point of the deck is to try and ramp up a little bit to be able to play Genesis Creation quickly, and then discard all the combo pieces to be able to use Genesis Creation. So I play my little Knight of the New Moon to be able to ramp, or just be able to potentially draw, and then I play another Elvish Priest, tapping it. Yeah, there's a better way to tap it. Leave my Elvish Priests up. Nick's gonna use his Grim Pitch during the draw phase with that Elvish Priest, so that he can just make use of it later to grab that Gretel of his. There's that Gretel. I'm going to go ahead and Zeeks it, because I don't want him to get any kind of ahead of me in terms of ramp. And I know that leaves him with only 1 mana to 1 will to make use of for the rest of the turn. So puts me in a pretty good spot to continue to pump up my advance. During my draw phase, I'm going to use my Knight of the New Moon to draw a card and discard a card. It's one of the ways that I can get the combo pieces to the graveyard, but I don't want to send all of them, because if I can help it and keep some of them on board, then in my hand, then it's easier for me to set up the full combo. And so there you see, guys have Yamada and Realm of Pure Spirits. Draw it into my hand from 40 Thieves, and then immediately discard them, because I don't want either of those in my hand. So I've got a Law of Silence and a Genesis Creation in my hand, so I'm feeling pretty confident at this point in my ability to take off and make the combo happen. We'll just have to see what goes on. Nick throws another Grim Pitch out there to grab another Cheshire Cat. Looks like he discarded a Amon's Pied Piper. He's essentially trying to draw into those cake zones right now, or just something to be able to stop the combo from actually taking off. So I see he's got that cake zone in hand, so he's got to try to make use of that. And then during my draw step, he's actually going to Law of Silence me, which turns me off for a turn, lets me not play any cards for a turn, so really good way to disrupt my combo. So I go ahead and just take advantage of the time to play my Scheherazade, J-activate, and get the search for my Refarth, because it's the last thing I need. Cool thing about Scheherazade's effect is you don't have to reveal what enter effect, what card you're grabbing, because it's any card in the deck. So you essentially just use Scheherazade just to grab that last combo piece. So while Scheherazade is the ruler, it's really not a Scheherazade deck. She's just kind of an added bonus that makes your combo easier to pull off. And I can also still attack, so I'm going to go ahead and make use of that 40 Thieves to try to kill an Elvish Priest. But instead I have to deal with the Cheshire Cat. So right now for me, I'm in a position where I just want to make sure that I want to be able to play all 3 of those cards in my hand next turn. And I can do that because I'll be going to 6 will. It's just a matter of not getting a lot of silenced. Or getting canceled for anything. So lots of Cheshire Cats being played. Nick's hoping to draw into, again, another Law of Silence or more cake zones. So he's just digging with all those Cheshire Cats. So she's at Stoning to Death, which is also a good option to be able to try and deal with my Yamada. During my draw phase, though, I go ahead and play Law of Silence. So one thing is, one thing to note is I actually did this a little wrong, well, based on the timing. So there's still a round of priority during the recovery phase before stuff actually recovers, because recovery is the last thing that happens. But if I was going to do it during the draw phase, I actually needed to do that effect before I even drew, because the last thing that happens in the draw phase is drawing. But then I go ahead and use Night of the New Moon's effect as well to draw and discard a card, just to make sure that I have those combo pieces up for later, because I have two Genesis creations in hand and just all kinds of stuff to be able to do. So I play one of my Refarths because I have the will to be able to do so, and then tap down the other 4 for a Genesis creation, pulling out a Realm of Pure Spirits and a Yamada. So now my Yamada is a 300, 2100 that can attack 8 times with swiftness and target attack, and can't be targeted because of Realm of Pure Spirits, and Yamada doesn't have to tap to attack, so now I can just start swinging in. So he lets, we're going to total the damage at the end of it for the counters, the overlays, but he's going to let 5 of my attacks go through, so 1500 damage coming from Yamada. Really huge to just suddenly swing out of nowhere. And then I knew he was going to block with them anyway, so I might as well get rid of them. I'm just using the other last 3 attacks on his 3 Cheshire Cats. And then I passed to him. One thing I could have done there is I could have attacked that Elvish Priest with my 40 Thieves. I don't really know why I didn't. This is the first time I'd ever really played the deck, so I wasn't really making use of the smaller creatures as effectively as I could. But if I had taken care of that, I could easily have swung in with that 40 Thieves and destroyed that Elvish Priest, cutting him off from an additional will source. It would have only put him at 5 instead of 6, and sometimes that, while it's not super important at this point in time, it could have an effect. I'm already feeling pretty confident, especially since I have another Genesis creation in hand, so I'm going to be able to bring out another Yamada or something else, and another Refarth or anything else like that next turn. So I'm feeling pretty confident in my ability to move forward. But still, taking out enemy wills, okay. Nick's gonna play Tell a Fairy Tale and grab the oh-so common Pied Piper with that. He's gonna try and lock down. He can't lock down my knight because of Realm of Pure Spirits, but he locks down one of my priests. So Nick's in a bad way right now because I have all the pieces that protect Yamada, and Yamada's nigh impossible to kill. During my recovery phase, I'm going to tap down Night of New Moon to try and maximize my draw power there, maybe draw into another Yamada, but it doesn't happen, unfortunately. And then everything's going to recover. I'm going to do it again. I'm going to just go ahead and take the time to mulligan it down. So I play a Club Soldier, Card Soldier Club, which is gonna get Zeked. I was trying to mill another Yamada to the grave to maximize my Genesis creation play, because I don't really have much in there to grab in terms of a resonator for Genesis creation. So I go ahead and just use Little Red the Pure Stone, which I'd called for fire, to pump up Yamada, making him now a 500/500 for the turn. So swing at him for 5, which goes through, swing at him for 5, which goes through, swing at him for 5, which he lets happen. So we've got 4 attacks, or 3 attacks left, or 5 attacks left. Use 2 of the attacks to deal with his other 2 blockers, and then use the last 2 attacks to swing in for game with Yamada. So yeah, that's how Salt works. So let's go to game 2. Here we are, game 2. Nick's gonna be going first. Let's see how this goes. So Nick opened up actually pretty well there, showing off. He's got 2 Cheshire Cats and Grettles and a Law of Silence. Probably doesn't need both Grettles, but the other stuff is all really good for him to hold on to. And there's his little Pumpkin Witch that he likes to use as a finisher. So, see Cheshire Cats come out. Cinderella is also now on top of the deck. He put Cinderella back. And I'm going to go ahead and spend my life to get out my Night of the New Moon, start doing my draws and discards. Gretel hits a stone, plays another Cheshire Cat. Pretty common turn 2 move for Grimm Control. Good to see that the deck is doing what it needs to do. Doing my Night of the New Moon shenanigans to draw and start discarding stuff. Hit my Little Red the Pure Stone. I believe I call it red, so that I can play stuff like that, 40 Thieves, so I can draw 2 and start again sending stuff to grave as fast as possible. A Law of Silence because I don't need 2, and a Club Soldier Spade, I believe. Yeah, Club Soldier, or Card Soldier Club, whatever one of them it is. Because I actually want to draw some stuff, not just mill everything at this point. See a Tinkerbell come out. And the bane of this deck's existence, not really. Cinderella, personal favorite card. The card's just really good. He's gonna sack. I'm gonna respond to it by drawing with Night of the New Moon one last time before it dies. And then it gets destroyed because of Cindy. And then he's gonna sack a Cheshire Cat to also kill my 40 Thieves. So now he's got a clear board, and yeah, it's not looking good. Not looking good for me. Sitting with only 3 will. He's up on me on will, and he's got Cinderella to deal with all my small answers. There's that club. I'm open to mulligan. There's the Yamada, so I've got 2 of the combo pieces in grave. I just need a Refarth. The trick is finding it before I die and getting a Genesis creation pulled off. Nick's in a very strong position right now. See that Tell a Fairy Tale, I see Zeke's Law of Silence. So he essentially right now has the complete answer package for what I'm trying to do, which is just really good for him. Especially because of the fact that I am moving really slow for the combo. See that Telefairy Tail come out, which means that Hamlin's Pied Piper is no doubt on his way. Yep, and then he's gonna lock down my priest. So, you know, again, he's getting way and way up on me on will, and he's preventing me from using will. So now I'm still back stuck at 3 will for next turn. Not a good place for me to be. And then he swings at me 4. I thought 8, but it's actually just 6, because Cinderella's not a fairy tale. As much as I want her to be, she is not. And then during my turn, even to put insult to injury, he Loss of Silences me during my draw step. So the only thing I can do is just call for a stone and just end my turn. But I have to throw it right back at him and hit him with a Loss of Silence during his turn, putting myself down to 2,800 in order to do so, but still, hit for hit. I'm already pretty sure I'm going to lose this game, but still, just wanted to kind of throw some salt back in his face with the Law of Silence. So I'm going to take 1,000 from Grimm, and then another 600 from Tinkerbell, putting me down to 1,200. So I haven't done any damage to him so far, and he's got perfect control. And then during my draw step, he does Zeeks and shuffles my entire graveyard back into the deck, essentially resetting all of the work that I have done for the combo. So I just go ahead and scoop, because I had Genesis Creation and Yamada on a discard engine, but he just completely reset my whole graveyard. So takes it easy, handily. Let's go game 3. So I'm going first with Salt, which puts me in a good position because the goal is to try to, move as fast as we can. See, I have that Elvish Priest, so at least I know I'm going to go up on will turn 1. Call that as red again. Play my 40 Thieves, draw 2, discard stuff, pieces to the grave. So there's already 2 pieces of the combo right set to the grave on turn 2. Sorry about that camera shake. We had some people watching us and one of them accidentally bumped the camera. There's another bump coming up, so be ready for it. Unfortunately, it's going to be a little bit more dramatic. So just prepare yourselves. Earthquake. Nick's making sure that you guys are okay. Yeah. We record at a local shop, and so when we do these, so sometimes we just have to deal with the fact that there are lots of people around, or people who are watching. So Nick's gonna be on the ramp train, just like myself. I'm trying to get high up on will to be able to make the bigger plays and throw out counterspell after counterspell, especially since he sees that I already have 2 pieces of the combo in grave. Another 40 Thieves. Now I'm sitting on 2 Genesis Creations, so I throw Zeeks and the second Yamada in there, because now I know that 2 Genesis Creations can actually do something. And then I set up the Realm of Fierce Spirits. So here I am, ready to go. Next turn is going to be the turn where the combo can go off, because I'll have 4 will, and I have Refarth, or Realm of Pure Spirits up, and I have Genesis Creation, and then Refarth and Yamana in grave. So I can very easily bring all of those guys out next turn. Doing a Grim Search, probably to try and draw into a Zeeks to reset my graveyard with those Cheshire Cats. Is probably what he's hoping to do. Or a Law of Silence to shut me down for a turn, something like that. Gretel for more ramping, Tinkerbell to try and throw out a large body, just in case I'm not able to make things happen next turn. And then, yeah, there's that Law of Silence to shut me down for the turn. So he's delayed the inevitable by 1 turn. Because the salt is real, and the salt is coming. So I'm thinking here about whether or not I want to go ahead and J activate and just search for something and throw out a creature, or to just bide my time, tap for a stone, and be prepared for ready to go next. So I go ahead and call for a stone. I want to be best prepared for whatever he can throw at me next turn. Even though I don't have any counterspells in my hand, I still want to have mana up. And I know that swinging in with, as much as I want to try to take out those Elvish Priests, he's got the backup of the Tinkerbells. So I don't want to have to try to mess with those. So he's just setting up more and more protection, wanting to grab more and more Laws of Silence for Zeeks or anything to be able to continually disrupt the plays. That's his goal right now, is to simultaneously establish board presence while disrupting the combo from actually occurring. Because if he doesn't, he's in pretty big trouble. So 2 Telefairy Tales, a Mephistopheles, and an Eye the Pilot. So no counter stuff right now. And he has 5 will up. So he might as well try and play it and get that Mephistopheles up to try to have a bigger board presence, just in case I don't have a Genesis Creation ready to go. And then he swings at me for 1,000 damage, putting me down to 26. And with the turn, he has to get rid of that Cheshire Cat because of Mephistopheles. So now I'm ready for the combo to go off, but I make it a little bit more nasty in the fact that I play a Wraithhearth from hand. And then I play Genesis Creation, letting me get a second Wraithhearth and Yamada. And then I'm actually going to banish both Wraithhearths to give Yamada an extra 800 for the turn, making him a 1,000, 2,800 that can attack 8 times. First attack gets blocked, second attack gets blocked, third attack gets blocked, fourth attack gets blocked, trying to check how much damage Yamada has now taken from all those attacks, those blocks, just to make sure that Mephistopheles can't kill him, or that if I try and kill Tinkerbell and Mephistopheles, that I may or may not die. Swing at him for 1,000, which goes through. 3 attacks left. Swing at him for 1,000, which he lets go through. 2 attacks left. Swing at him for 1,000, which he blocks with Mephistopheles, and then swing at him for another 1,000, which will go through. And then I use my, at this point in time, I use my 2 40 Thieves to clear the rest of the stuff off his board. So, very, very powerful Yamada play coming out there. Getting a 1,000 creature that can attack 8 times, just clear his board and still do a ton of damage. And because of that Realm of Pure Spirits, there's no way for him to get rid of Yamada at this point. As it stands right now, he's just trying to kind of find a way to establish a wall to be able to deal with a Yamada next turn. What he doesn't know is I have a second Genesis creation in hand, so a second Yamada is coming out next turn, but he's still, I mean, he's got to give it a shot. So a couple of Cheshire Cats for more draws, and then another Telefairy Tale comes out for another Hamlin's Pied Piper to lock down my Elvish Priest. So he goes ahead and swings at me with Mephistopheles to try and get them extra, close the gap a little bit. And then, as I said, I have a second Genesis creation in hand. So Refarth is coming back as well as the second Yamada. So at that point, Nick just scoops because there's no way he's going to deal with 2 Yamadas that are both 300 attackers. So yeah, guys, that is it. That is Salt.Deck versus Grimm Control. Go ahead and let us know down below. Like, comment, and subscribe. Tell us what you thought of the decks. Deck profiles will be up this Saturday. And as always, guys, this is the MO73 signing off.